Rick Hong here for Hollywood First Look. Today, I'm with the cast of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Sara, in this group, do you feel that you spend the most time in the makeup chair?
Actually, in this group, yes, I probably do.
How many hours?
Yeah, 2.5. Oh, yeah?
I reckon I was about that.
I was about
Okay,
that.
all right.
You're probably longer.
So did you find that if you're saying 2.5 hours, did you find that as you kept coming back to set, that it got quicker?
It got a little bit quicker, but it was still probably about the same amount of time. But it actually became part of the ritual of creating Marigold. So all those moments in the chair and my amazing team, we all were creating that character together. And the best part in the end was actually putting on those feet, because once I got them on, there she was, and she was connected to the earth through her beautiful prosthetic feet. And so I didn't mind the time in the chair in the end. It became part of the process.
When you were talking about how your time in the makeup chair, that really resonated. I felt like the makeup chair, the work with the movement directors, the work with the dialect coaches, in the gym, all of these different things, hair and makeup, obviously. It was like they were channels of character that were sort of coming up to my feet and sort of going through, so that finally when I stepped on set, I was ready. And that time in the makeup chair was unbelievably important for me in terms of becoming the character.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I hold this title of most costumes on the show.
Maybe.
I might be neck and neck with Morfydd, because I feel like she also has quite a few. But the costume department, spearheaded by the great Kate Hawley, just what a team of artisans and craftspeople. I mean, I basically had haute couture costumes, from, shoes custom made to custom made jewelry. Which, when you're playing a queen, that kind of really gets you right into things, because that's accurate to probably how most queens are living, real or imagined.
I would say, I had the least amount of time in the chair because I play a human.
Mm-hmm, right.
So I'm very lucky. I feel like the Numenoreans and the Southlanders probably had, I don't know, you can speak for yourself, but I've spent about an hour and a half. It's nothing close to the Hobbits, the dwarves, the elves,
and the orcs.
And the orcs who had
it.
it
Like
8 hours or something.
That's
wasn't
bad. 8 hours.
Yeah, so I was in the makeup chair around 2 hours, an hour 45, but that was without feet. So then feet, we had
those in the hotel room.
Wow,
I didn't think about the feet.
Yeah, we had a foot tent on set, so it was great. So we could rock down to set, have breakfast, whatever, do a little rehearsal, and then there was a 20-minute slot where all of us, the feet team, were incredible, and we would just by the end of it, they were just off we go, out you go, it was amazing. So
throughout that process, I was kind of, a kid in a candy store, kind of going, sounds great, sounds great, sounds great, sounds great. Then I get the call time and I'm like, why did I say yes to the nose? Why did I say yes to the nose? The single hair on the eyebrows seemed like such a good idea at the time. So yeah, I wasn't aware until that call time came through that it was going to be a long morning.
I play Kiyra. He's the son of Farazon. So Farazon is in the law, and I could make decisions based on what I knew about Numenor or what I knew about my dad, and I had enough footholds in place, but enough space to kind of dream. And, we had so many amazing experts on hand who would help you kind of craft something that felt real and felt playable.
Your character in this, you're kind of a bad dude, so I was wondering how your boot camp was, because I know everybody has kind of a different boot camp for the series. So I don't know if there was something more exciting or more challenging.
Chucking mercury into green fires with voodoo dolls and stuff I guess a bad character, badass, I would say.
Yeah,
absolutely. He's got a lot on his shoulders. He's got a lot on his plate. So there's a lot of responsibility. And how do you cope with that?
Charlie, like I said, I watched the first 2 episodes. So you get that phone call and they say you're going to be in this series and everything. And then I heard there's a boot camp for going to Middle Earth. Did they warn you ahead of time how much you'd be spending in the water? Again,
I don't think so. I think because we auditioned with that scene on the raft, or a version of that scene, a much earlier version. We did a couple of screen tests and chemistry tests and things.
And they couldn't throw us in the pool for that.
No, and we had the scene being, how the nature of the IP, they didn't tell us any of the circumstances around the scene. So when you finally hear you're actually on a raft in the middle of the ocean, so it was sort of when we got to New Zealand, I think we learned this. Yeah. And then they tell you have to learn to dive underwater and swim and stand. You were much better at standing on the raft than I was, I think. I fell off the raft quite a lot. Not off, but through the cracks.
Are you all ready? Because I know you played first, really experienced the fandom at Comic-Con.
Well, that was an extraordinary experience, the Comic-Con. I mean, I speak for myself. That was my first experience of it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Not only are we there to celebrate this extraordinary show, but to be greeted with that level of enthusiasm was it's overwhelming. It really is. But such positive vibes coming across the footlights from Hall H. It was very, very special to be part of.
Yeah, you feel this incredible excitement, responsibility, and hope that the devotion that starts from the top in our production with JD and Patrick all the way through, and the amount of work we've all done, and how careful and precious we feel the original material of Tolkien is, and you just really hope that we can send that across to the fans so that they know it's in safe hands.
The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power is streaming now on Prime Video.